Oh,
Put it out there.
there you go.
Great way to start a
I'm going to
podcast,
switch
ladies
my
and gentlemen.
camera around to the table here in a minute.
Yeah. You go do that. Yeah, and
Okay.
I'll get it started. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is fun. Bill Maas gave me a heck of an art lesson last time. By the by, I should let you know I'm drawing my next book release as well. So weird as it sounds, I'm drawing it, and I'm scared to death in all the good ways. But here's the thing: you are getting an acknowledgement in there, just so you know.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And so that's Bill. And but we're not alone. Today we are joined by the incredible Kat Moz.
Hello. I don't know
Yeah.
if you can hear me well through the other mic.
I can't hear your now. I can't hear your mic.
There we go.
There we go. Yes.
I get the echo, so it's really hard for me to talk.
Oh, geez. So yeah, folks, this is a very echoey. This is a very echoey kind of episode, unfortunately, for these two, because I guess they're in the same room. It's the only thing we can figure, because it is what it is. But they're going to be drawing from their own stuff, and we're going to just talk about random things. I'm probably going to start with Kat, because I don't know her quite as well as I know Bill, but we'll get into Bill too, because Bill's awesome. So I'm going to start with you, Kat, and I hope you don't mind me asking some random questions, because I don't know you as well. So I've seen you.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So are you basically following in Bill's footsteps? Is that what you're doing, or did you is this like him,
A
like
little bit.
Yeah.
I started apprenticing and helping him out when I was probably around 14. And then I just started stealing more color jobs from him because I liked it. And it was easy for me.
She did take all of my color work.
She took all your color jobs. You don't feel that bad about that, Bill.
No.
I didn't think so.
But then from there, I've been mostly doing color work. I haven't really been doing a lot of my own things, like up on the radar yet, but I plan to do more this year, and from this year onward to actually like make comics and making more content that's just me.
That's awesome. So how do you define just you, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh yeah, where it's like me, I like everything that's super cute and like horrendous monsters. That's usually my range that I like to be in. I like mixing the two together. And I usually am a lot more anime centric than Western style comics.
I was just about to say, you sound to me like a YA illustrator.
That would actually be a really good description.
Well, no, because so I have a theory. So we'll see if you guys agree or disagree with me about this. Is that, see, horror and young adult stuff are two sides of the same coin. They're not that different. They're not that different, really. And what I have found is you're just playing. It's just like if YA and horror were piano keys, you'd be playing. Horror is a lot of dark keys with a little bit of white keys, and young adult is a lot of white keys with a little bit of dark keys. But you're using a lot of the same source material, if that makes sense. So I always think that horror writers make the best kid stuff. And I also I have, because again, it's just because also if you're a metalhead at all, I'm not saying you are. I've noticed that people that do the really dark and macabre stuff are usually some of the sweetest people in the world, right?
Oh
usually.
yeah.
Right? You guys melt down. I mean, you guys have a thing for skulls somewhat, which is kind of like, a bit strange, but that's okay. I don't judge much.
Oh my goodness. It's almost like you're like reading me like a book, because I've had to talk to dad a few times being like, "Hey, are you cool with me having an actual human skull at some point? I don't know how I'm going to ethically source it, but I'm going to have one at some point."
Yeah, well, it's just I just have this. My theory goes that you are, see, people that do the darker stuff let out those darker urges in a constructive way, and so as a result, as a result, like you get all this evil stuff out there, and you're like, all right, this is so cool and dark, and then when it's over,
Yeah.
just
And there's a lot of times where I was using a lot of gore art to like go like how to explain it, to be able to process my own traumas that I've been through, and it was a lot easier for me to just process it that way.
yeah. So
And
I mean,
then I started showing it to a few people and they resonated with it, and it ended up helping some other people. So I ended up sort of like, oh, I guess I'll just draw some more.
yeah, because that again, it's just one of those things I've noticed, right? And I mean, I've noticed this with a lot of people. Like some of the sweetest people I know are into that stuff, and just like, and it took me a while to figure out why. I also understood something really deep and ancestral now, because again, I have a German descent, and way back in the day, the skulls of your enemies thing. Once I've noticed this little pattern, I had a new understanding of the skulls of the enemies thing. I got it now. Why did a guys do this? To impress the woman he loved. That's why he did it. No other reason. I once I figured that out, it's like I understand.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it's like I understand a part of human psychology I never thought I would. And it's like I don't know if I'm happy or sad about it, but it's like yes, but again, it's just like one of those things. So, what Japanese anime were you into, or manga?
Let's see. I remember the first ones that I got into, like I was like 10 years old, and my dad had a lot of Ghost in the Shell stuff around, so that was
That's a good
like
one.
my biggest influence as a kid. But then like the normal stuff when I was 10, it was just like Pokemon and everything from I was like huge Pokemon for a while, but when I got deeper into stuff, it was like Appleseed and Ghost in the Shell, and then I got into newer ones today, like Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer are usually my favorites right now.
I'm a Full Metal Alchemist guy.
Oh yeah, that one's really good.
Yeah, I like Code Geass. It's another one I really like.
Hmm.
Right, I like that one. I'm a big fan of C, the Money and Soul Possibility. That was a neat one. I like some of the more abstract ones. My current manga read of choice, however, is Spy X Family, because it's one of the silliest things I've ever read, and I love it because it's so silly. Right, so
It's good to have a bunch of different genres sometimes, because sometimes I'll just be like, Lucky Star, Slice of Life, that's all I want. And then the next one is like, this has to be like deep fantasy, or I'm not gonna maintain my attention with it.
totally get that. I totally do. You need a variety of interests to actually do this and kind of do this well. I've learned this, and yeah, it's a process, right? But
Always
like I
is.
said, but as I get older, I get sillier, right? I get super super silly, and I don't know why that is exactly, but it is what it is, right? And it's one of those things where just like the older I get, the less of it. I want silly stuff. Give me the wild, cartoony, over the top, and because I feel like I've left Bill out of the conversation. So actually one of the things I enjoy about his Nira series, it's just fun stuff. Doesn't try to be anything more than that. It's fun.
I tell them all the time where it's just like double down on your strengths. You're good at comedy. Just do it. Just keep it up.
Yeah, comedy is actually hard. Like really, really hard to do well. And
But if you can do it well, it's the easiest thing to sell, because you can go up to somebody and be like, oh, there's all this deep lore. But if you go up to somebody and say, this will make you laugh, that's usually such an easy sell.
yeah. So let me ask you a couple more fun questions. Comic wise, I get your manga interest. So I get your manga interest. Do you read any actual like fiction, like literary stuff, like prose and thing, or is it just comics?
When it comes to fantasy, I've been sticking a lot more with comics lately and reading
Yeah.
webtoons. When I'm reading like actual books, they've been more like nonfiction books. And because it's like I love the ocean and I love a lot of things like science-wise. So I usually tend to read more of that, but it ends up drifting into my art life anyway because I learn more about an animal or about like human anatomy, and then I can draw it a lot better because I have more experience with how things work and like the skeleton underneath.
Yeah, no, I get that. I totally get that. Understand, huh? So if you one day write and draw Aquaman, I'll know you'll be ready to do it. I'd say Namor, but Namor never gets a comic book series, and he's probably lamer than Aquaman, really. So,
Oh goodness.
right, that's cool. But it sounds to me, like I said, you sound to me like you're going to be an amazing young adult illustrator. You're probably going to come up with an awesome series at some point, and
I have a couple that I need to flesh out, and in the next year, I'll actually have time to sit down and be like, okay, what's the plot, and like actually work on it.
okay. All right, so let's bring Bill into the conversation. I'm sure Bill has been amused at our little back and forth. So, what do you think? Am I right? Is she going to be a great young adult illustrator, Bill?
There we go.
Here we go. I'll turn my mic back on
Yeah.
to see
if I don't echo.
It's so weird.
It's so weird. I'm echoing to myself.
I can hear the echo too.
Yeah,
I hear the
it's
echo
weird.
as well.
We usually turn off the here. I'll turn off my own volume so I can not hear myself. So you have to flash your hands at me when you talk. Usually when we're doing live streams, if we just have one of the mics muted, we're fine.
Yep.
But for some reason, I'm getting an extra echo.
Yeah, I
What's
don't
happening
have an
within
answer
this?
for you there. So,
I could probably just change headsets. Maybe
it might be that
I'll give
simple.
that a
It could
shot.
be.
And you can talk to Kat a little bit more.
Yeah, as
I'm just chilling, having some sketch time while you guys are talking. So that's kind of nice.
yeah. Yeah. So, all right then, Kat. While Bill is figuring his stuff out, because I actually was going to show Bill my first. He saw my early drawings because he came on my Ring and Draw. So my story is I write books. I've done 6 books so far. My 7th book, I'm writing and drawing for the first time. I'm drawing. I've been drawing for over a year. So, and I've had the pleasure of having people like Bill come on the show and show me all kinds of things. Right? I have to say, breast kicked my ass to draw. It took me a while to figure them out. It's weird because it's all shapes, but you got to understand the shape to be able to draw it. And for a while, I was like, you'd think some of that stuff would be easy, but it's not. And you're like, what am I missing? Then you have the master
It's
over here.
deceptively like you think it's going to be easy, and then when you actually try to transfer it, because you can see it in your brain, but your hand's not listening.
Yeah. Do you know what still kicks my ass at this point? Lego. Lego owns me still. I'll figure it out someday. Someday over the rainbow. But, but again, we all get... I figured out like the secret to mastering anything. It's seeing the details. It's all about seeing the details. And if you can see the details, you can actually make some things happen, which is really, really, really interesting. So I've learned this. So I'm actually kind of proud of this little drawing I've done so far. Getting better. But the whole secret to it is once you see the details, then you can draw more and do more with details. Right? I'm looking at what you're doing, and it's like, well, I ain't there yet. Like I'm just, and that's, I don't feel bad about that. It's all about levels, and I'm not at that level.
Yeah.
Right. So Bill, you want to see my drawing?
Show me what you got.
What do you think?
It's very good.
I like the necklaces.
Yes. So now he saw my earlier stuff, It was nowhere near as good as it was now. I've still got a long way to go, as you can see, but I dare I say I might even be developing a style. Who knew? And Bill, I cannot hear. But anyway.
Yeah, her mic was off,
Huh.
and I can still hear myself.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Did you see this?
I did. I was actually commenting on it, and now that I'm echoing it myself, so weird. Technicalities. There's always something.
Yeah. Like you saw me a long time ago. Like I think I've gotten a lot
Oh,
better.
yeah.
Like I said, I might even have a style. Who knew?
I like
So.
seeing the progression
Yeah.
because it is all about the journey. Either way you look at it, no matter what level anybody's at, it's the journey is what it's all about.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. Like I've had a lot more practice because I've had great people like yourself come on the show. Like I said, long way to go. I don't think I'm probably another year or two away from being what I would call competent, like conscious. Not, I'm gonna say consciously competent. I think that's a good spot to be in, right? I'm about another year from that, but I keep practicing and I keep working with people like yourself, and I keep getting better, which I think it's like, hey, I like my stuff more and more.
Now, when you start putting your figure together, are you doing like you see how here it's like this outer shape is super light,
Yep.
and I just sort of whittling it in, but even like this line right here, I always do this. This is where I think the face is going to be, and it always comes out to here. Once I put the eye where it goes, once I put the nose where it goes, then it's like I can't put the cheek where I thought I was going to put it. It's just a habit, but I've been doing that since.
Yeah, but it's your style
It's
too.
like I'll usually just draw the eyes first and then the face second.
I always do the face first. I like one of the things I've been experimenting with color too. Here, I'll show you earlier. So
Yeah.
So I've been experimenting with color a little bit. So if you recognize Spy X Family, you'll recognize the character, and if you don't, that's cool too. But I've been playing with color a little bit more. Cool. Yeah. So I've been working on it. Like I said, I'm not quite where I want to be just yet, but I'm getting better. And really, that's all you can ask. Right? I'll show you my favorite.
I like to see that you're playing with color and expanding that out and trying different things.
Yeah.
Because that's where you really learn some stuff and you expand.
Well, here's a fun one. A unicorn is taking a dog for the ride at the pool table.
I always love ones like that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, here's what I truly do believe is that you can make. I'll show you one last one. Is it doesn't like. There's my Ryu. Back in the 8-bit, 16-bit Ryu.
Yes.
There you go.
I love the blue.
Yes. So back in my day and I know I'm like an old man talking to clouds. Back in the 16-bit days of Street Fighter, I always thought that when he was throwing the fireball, he was always saying bullshit, not Hadouken, but actually bullshit. Because
damn right.
Yeah. It's one of those things. I again, because the fireball thing is hokey as hell, but it's a legitimately good move in the game. So it was one of those. It's one of those things where I recognize that, and as a result, I work
Dude,
on.
That's the move. That's
yeah. It's the move of moves. I think I'm going to give her a little bit more. So I mean, like based on not just you, but everybody I've worked with in the past year, I recognize that the kind of lines you put in, the fact that I'm inking, which is also something I've been doing. adds to the. Again, it's all about details. The more details you add, and I don't necessarily want to go like a giant cross hatching machine, because I don't know if I need that much detail. But the idea that the more details you have, the more of a convincing like story you can tell. That's important, right? And again, I don't know if I'm ever going to have like the perfect figure modeling thing down, but I also may not need to. For me, it's about telling it, making my characters expressive, and trying to get them to tell the best story I can. Right? I'm obviously using real life right now. Like I'm drawing a friend of mine right now because she's a Russian model friend who's got family in the Ukraine and who's got family in Russia. So right now she's not going through a very wonderful time. Right? And we're not going to go into too much politics tonight because I don't think either of us have enough alcohol for that. But but the thing is, right? Like she's caught. Like she's legitimately caught, and you can kind of see it, and you can kind of feel it, and it's like I could try to say something to cheer her up, but what am I gonna say? Like really, it's like her home as she knows is not going to be the same, no matter what happens, and that's a sad thing. So there's nothing I can really say, but I think I maybe I can put a smile on her face with a picture. Sometimes it's that simple. And if I can't, well, it's good practice for me.
And sometimes just being present is just the support that they need,
Yeah.
And you find a way to do that, then that's what you do. Sometimes it's I don't think it's ever about having the perfect thing to say that cheers somebody up. It's like you have to share the fact that they're having a horrible experience.
Yeah. Exactly. And like I said, and besides, what can I say? Like, what do I say to this?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, there's nothing to. I mean, there's no magic words to make that pain go away. There just isn't in her case, and I understand that. So I'm not going to try. Instead, I'm going to do maybe the only thing, again, something I can do that doesn't require a lot of words, and it makes you feel better. Great.
Exactly.
If it doesn't, well, I got some practice.
Yeah.
But in the end, being present, that's a way of you being present in her life.
Yeah.
Doing something in a situation where you can't really do anything. And that's important.
Yeah. So, well, the thing is, it's not. I realized something about life a long time ago, and like I said, big things. We have this illusion that we have a lot of control. We really don't. Like when you get to the grand scheme of things, whether it's rich dudes playing politics or whether it's an act of God, right? People, right? There's always bigger things going on in the world, and you can't like change that. So it's how you deal with those changes that make good, bad, or indifferent things happen. That's it. There's no magic to it, really, right? And so what I'm trying to do is like, okay, well, in the big scheme of life, there's a lot I can't control, but in the little scheme of life, I can tell dirty jokes, I can draw pictures, I can write stories, and sometimes that's all you need to do. It's not that the big events are happening that test your character. It's what you do in the big events that test your character. You know what I mean? So.
Well, those are the reasons that I hope that people are attracted to my Nira book. Just because it's fun escapism. It's not,
What I like about your
very
book is
self-aware that some of her stuff is quite silly. But that's what makes it fun.
That's the best part about your book. It doesn't try to pretend to be anything but a fun thing to read. And that's a beautiful thing in of itself, because fun is very much underrated in this world. And you know, I don't know of a soul alive that doesn't like to play. Someone that doesn't like to play, I will show you a liar. It's right up there with saying I don't like ice cream. You're just lying, right? You're just lying to us.
Liar.
Yeah, exactly. You don't believe that either.
I muted
I
my mic for a
used to have a-
second because I had a pencil sharpener.
No worries. When I was working for a company, my union rep, when I told my theory about ice cream, he goes, "You're right. I wouldn't believe somebody if they told me they didn't like ice cream." Right? No, I mean flavor, sure, but actually not like ice cream. I know people who are allergic to ice cream that still love the stuff. They'll actually take the plunge once in a while. They'll say, "Fuck it," you know. So, but you're lactose intolerant. I don't care. You're not the boss of me.
You only live
Okay.
once.
Yeah, that's right.
My life.
Yeah, you're right. They might be on the shitter the next day, but it was worth it. So
We'll take those lactose pills. We'll have whatever we want.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Refuse to give in.
I have seen it with ice cream. I don't see it with a lot of other things, but I have seen it with ice cream. You know what's going to happen to you? Shut up. Just shut up. Grown ass person. Okay. You know, hours later, they come back. My stomach is killing me. Are you happy? Fuck yeah. It's not just yeah, it's a fuck yeah.
Give me ice cream or give me death.
That's right. That is right. I'd like to smell a little bit more, actually. I'm actually going to try to color this one. But no, it's just something I realized. Like, life is about little things. It's not like your true test of character. The true test of who you are as a person is not, you know, what you like. It's what you do when things aren't in your control, right? I mean, sometimes you have to stand up for yourself in those situations a little bit, but sometimes it's just about living and just going with the flow. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it's about finding the headset that has the least amount of echo in my room.
Yes, sometimes. I'm so sorry, man. I really am.
Oh, dude, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's just a technological anomaly going on.
Yeah. So, Miss Cat,
Yeah, we usually have this thing pretty solved just by turning off one of the mics, and then ends up just working out.
So, Miss Cat, who are you working on?
I am just working on just random character. I just got this. Mike.
There we
Yeah,
go.
your mic went evil there.
I just got this antique recently, so I'm still getting used to the muscle memory of it. So I'm just, just
Goofing off.
random character, just practicing, putting in the pilot hours so that it becomes second nature. On my intuos, I'm super duper fast, but I can do a lot more on this antique. So I just need to put in the pilot hours and I'll be good.
Cool. And what are you doing tonight, Bill?
You know, you said something about Ghost in the Shell earlier because you guys were talking about what manga and anime stuff Cat was interested in. So here I am drawing Motoko.
Okay, that sounds cool. So yeah, so for me, I here's what I'm going to actually do. I'm actually a little scared. I'm actually for my next one, I'm going to try to do a Nira drawing because why not? Right? Yeah, totally. I'm going to finish this one
Dare
first.
you?
Oh, I'll do it. I'm in. Listen, he'll tell you, I have guts. Brains might be another story, but the guts are there. Yeah. So, okay, so I gotta ask this. I'm gonna bring up the skulls again real quick. So, what kind of skulls are you? Is it human skulls or any skulls?
As far as drawing?
Well, no, for Kat, she
No,
likes skulls.
me. Collecting.
Oh,
Yeah, collecting
she
skulls.
really likes. She's got a morbid side.
Yes.
She's not the only
She's
one.
got a harder side.
She's not the only. Like I said at the very beginning of this conversation, she's not the only woman I know. Actually, to the point now where I debate with the woman I'm dating: flowers, candy, or skulls. Right?
Very cool.
Because you might think that's silly, but it's actually true. Some women really
Put
dig.
flowers inside of a skull.
So that's yours. I've heard chocolate
Mhm.
skulls.
I'm
Right.
allergic to chocolate, so.
Oh,
So
I'm.
bad. Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I almost want. I almost. I don't know you well enough to give you a hug, but I kind of want to. That's.
It's okay. I eat lots of pastries to make up for it.
But it wouldn't stop you with ice cream. I take it. Like if you were allergic to ice cream, so you'd be like, "Fuck that! I'm taking my lactose."
Oh
pills."
no, some of the most of the brands I can't eat because the factory processes chocolate there. So I'll asphyxiate if I eat
Oh,
most ice cream that's at the store.
there's got to be a brand you can
Ah.
eat though.
Chick-fil-A.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah, she gets away with it at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And then I learned how to make my own ice cream at home. I got an ice cream machine.
Okay, so see, like I said, you found a way. I knew you'd find a
Mhm.
way. It's like I knew you'd find a way. It's like, yeah, I'm not letting that stop me. Screw that. Yeah, I'm always this silly too. So I mean, but no, like when you get right down to it, right? It's about. Sometimes it's again, you just find those little moments of fun. You can't even have dark chocolate, like not even dark chocolate.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh. Sometimes it's just a milk chocolate thing. That's why I ask sometimes. But yeah.
Mhm. For me, it was actually dark chocolate that I was first really allergic to. I could still eat
Wow.
the milk chocolate because the cocoa concentration was less. But then as I got older, it got worse. And now I can't even, like, if something has cocoa butter in it and I put it on my skin, I'll get hives.
I'm sorry. But note to self. Okay. So for everybody listening, if you ever flowers and skulls. Gotcha.
Yes.
Yes. So there you go. But no, it's just like I said, I was just curious if it's just like human skulls or any skull. So
Any skull.
any skull. Okay. There you go.
Dragon skulls.
Well, those are my favorite.
Like I said, just I once I had this epiphany about skulls, it was like, you know what? I understand my ancestors a lot better now. It was not about proving how dominant they were. They didn't care. They just wanted to impress their significant others going home. That's what that was all about.
They were married to a goth woman that really liked skulls.
Well, it's just there's something about yeah. I truly think that there is something about that. It's like, you know what? I understand my ancestry a little bit more. German barbarian on one side, Maltese on the other. So it's like, so my German barbarian side, I understood something very important about it. It's like, oh, that's where this came from. This is a strange thing that I think is somehow just true. Okay. And there's going to be a comic someday or a story someday. Might be writing it right now, actually, where the guy is like, You just want skulls? Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just finds a poor.
It's almost like the equivalent of penguins giving each other pretty rocks that they find.
Yeah, that's pretty much what that's pretty much how I'm taking it going forward. It's like, hey, look at the pretty rock. It's the skull of your enemy. It's no more. They're not alive anymore. And the reaction of the woman, I'm slightly scared / turned on at the same time. How does that work?
Just excellent.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, there will be a story somewhere down the future in my books where it's like, this was just about impressing a chick. I swear. You took over the world. Yeah.
Just to impress.
Yep. That's right. No other reason. Oh. That seems shallow. Yes. I'm good with that. It's like I've made my peace. I've made my peace with who I am and who I'm not. Okay.
Can't be that shallow. There's too much of life that's actually based on it.
Oh yeah. That drive is very real. You know, it's a very real thing. It's not. There's no hyperbole when I say that. It's just the truth. There's a very natural inclination for that, and it's just like, oh, okay. Well, this is how it goes, and this is what we do. By the way, both your drawings are super impressive.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I've been working on mine, so I haven't given you guys the love you deserve. I mean, both you, I think, know you're great. I've seen some of your covers in the past there, Kat, and I was like, curse my lack of monies. But it's all good.
Yeah,
Tis
she's a
all
smart
right.
model, man. She's the new generation.
Hey. I just think it's actually kind of amazing to see a different interpretation of Nira too, a little bit of a different one. And you trust her to do it, which I think is really cool. So this one I colored. So I'll let you guys and then I'll give Nira a try. What do you think?
Oh, cool.
I gotta stand up. Ooh, I always like color.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
coloring
sister's-
or shading, like, just finishes it all. It gives it a little bit more life, you know.
Yeah. I wish I had some colors. Like I have a basic pencil crayon set right now. I don't have some of the colors I really want, but you know, I think I do an okay job with what I have. So
Yeah, I think it looks great.
yeah. So that was my attempt, and that's the one I'm going to present to the individual. I'm going to take a picture of that when it's over. All right, now I'm a little terrified because I said I'd do Nira. So, Bill,
No pressure.
Then yeah, tears in my eyes. Yeah.
It doesn't need to be emotional.
Listen, if I openly weep at the end of this podcast, I'm very okay with that. So, but yeah, okay. So, yeah, like I said, your book is a breath of fresh air. That's actually the best way I would describe your book. It is a breath of fresh air.
That makes me happy.
Yeah. So, it's fun. It doesn't. It's one of those books that's just like, you know what? I'm not going to have. I can turn my brain off in the best way, and it's just fun. You're not trying to be this uber deep story. You're just like, you know what? I'm just gonna have fucking fun. And I like drawing really, really, really insanely cool hot chicks. And I'm just going to enjoy that. And if you like it, you'll enjoy it too. Huh. It's got a lot of hair. The only like the one color I wish I had more of was I never understood a value of a white pencil crayon until now. When I'm drawing now, it's like, oh, this is why they're so handy.
Oh,
Mhm.
dude, yeah. I actually buy them by the dozen now.
Yeah. No, because they
love
like
having
that's
the
so I'm
highlights.
probably gonna I'm probably gonna make Naira actually a blonde. I'm sorry, just because I think if she wasn't white hair,
That's
she'd be
fine.
blonde. Yeah. So don't hold this against me, right? Because I don't really have the right color to. I might do a couple different. Might do one sketch to kind of get her down because she's definitely different. A little bit more outside the range of what I normally do, but that's hey, you gotta challenge yourself, right? So
Here's a good example of how the Nira book doesn't take itself too seriously. This is her
yeah,
timeline.
yeah, I love that. Like no, I super loved like that you had that. It just made me go, yes.
That was the best way I could keep track of it. And I was like, yeah, it's time travel is messy.
Yeah. Well, it's maybe this wasn't a conscious decision when you started. I'm not going to pretend. It may not have been that like that conscious, but I got the impression when you did Naira, you were like, okay, I'm just going to tell a bunch of stories in different places, and then after a while, you had material. You're like, I could try making sense of this. Then we saw continuity in the past of other comic companies, and you're like, fuck that noise, right? This doesn't like that's too much work. Am I right on that? Did I hit the nail on the head on that?
A little bit. It's too easy to write yourself into a corner, especially when it comes to time travel stories.
Yeah,
Trying to make them come back around, and then her time travel stories take her to parallel dimensions, which made it a little bit easier
yeah.
because of I didn't need to keep track of continuity as much. You can have an adventure somewhere else and then come back,
Oh yeah,
and you're not worried about the butterfly effect and all the other things that come with the territory of writing this kind of character.
yeah. Well, I just think that what you did was fun in like in the best ways. Like you just like what I'm just gonna have fun. I think there was just that you made that decision, and when you made that decision, it was like okay, I can
Yeah,
like, and then because of that, you
it
don't have
took
to
the
worry.
pressure off.
Yeah, you don't have to worry so much about continuity or gravitas because it doesn't. It's not about that. It's just about okay, what kind of wacky adventure can I put Naira in this time? And she's
Exactly.
and I hope you take this as a good comparison. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, do you know the series VIP?
I remember VIP. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's Pamela Anderson not taking herself
Yeah,
seriously at all,
exactly. Yeah.
right? And
The show
it's
knew exactly what it was.
oh yeah, and
It was
and
just a fun
nope.
time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it didn't try to be like fancy in any way, shape, or form. It just said, you know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna have fun. People know,
We're
and
sexy
people,
spies. We're good.
yeah. This is a spy series. She's a spy. I mean, how good she is a matter of perspective, but that's okay, right? This is like that was the whole. That's part of the gag, right? She's a good
Yep.
spy, but is she a good spy, right? And that is a valuable like decision process. I remember when they had a guest star from Babylon 5 play a villain, right? There was like a moment in that, and I laughed when I saw this. Like he couldn't take it seriously. There was a moment he's trying to be like this bad guy. He's trying to be really, but it's so goofy, right? But again, no one cared because that was the whole point. It wasn't about like good is relative. That's the one thing about like art. Good is what relative. And if you can accept that, you can have all kinds of fun and no one's going to hold it against you. You know, whatever. It doesn't have to make perfect sense. It just has to be fun.
Yeah, this isn't 500 issues of X-Men where everything really has to be continuity conscious.
Oh, X-Men's not even continuity conscious anymore. Doesn't try to be.
That's true.
It's like there's a point with continuity. It's like, fucking forget it. Who cares? You know,
So
this
much
is-
to keep track of.
yeah. Well, you can't. There just comes a point. It's like no matter what you do, you're gonna piss somebody off. So yeah. Do I have to worry about this? No, I don't.
Or can I just write like a fun story, you know?
Yeah. You know, it's like, do you give a shit about continuity? Not really. I'm just gonna tell my story and I'm going to get out. If you don't like it, that's wonderful. You know what the best thing about that is, guys? You can choose not to count this in your story anymore. And you know what? I don't care. Go nuts. Right? Go absolutely batshit. I don't care. You do not need for me or you or anybody else to take me seriously. I don't care. Right? I'm having fun. And if you like it, cool. I'm glad you did. I made this for you. And if you don't like it, well, pound salt. I don't care. There's a great
I
little
feel
comic
fortunate
called,
that people like the stuff.
yeah, exactly. That's it. Well, you gotta be okay. Again,
So I'm
what
just
you are
grateful for
versus
that.
what you're not, right? If you're just
Yeah,
so
I
one of
get
my
it.
favorite comics currently of all time. I don't know if you heard of it. Have you ever seen Axe Cop?
Axe Cop?
Axe Cop.
Is that the one with the dinosaur with the two machine guns?
No, although that sounds awesome. You gotta tell me what that one is.
There's a comic that has a T-Rex with two machine guns, and there is a cop in the artwork behind the T-Rex, and he has an axe. So I had to be sure.
Okay, it might be basically world class artist draws story as told by a 10-year-old, and that it is as awesome as it sounds. I swear.
That exactly. That is what
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That's what I
Yes.
do.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Bill Ma's the Axe Cop of comics. That actually sounds really badass.
That'll be on my next promo poster.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Just give me like a word kind of bio thing. I'm good, dude. I'm good. It's like Josh said this. He's nuts. But I dig his idea. I'm good with this. I'm okay with it.
Like on the back cover of the book, it'll be like the quote.
Yeah, exactly.
Like quote unquote. Say that in it, Josh.
Yeah, Josh. Because yes, everybody knows who. Everybody knows who. You can't say that about a book. You damn right I'm saying that about this book because it's that's what it is, guys. I'm not trying to make it something it's not. Right? And suddenly people are like, that is you can't think of a book like that. It's like, why not? I can think of it like that. Like Axe Cop's just like one of those amazing little comics where it's like it doesn't try pretend to be anything it's not. And it's fun. And if you don't like Axe Cop, I think something's wrong with you inherently, and I can't fix it, and I'm not going to try. That's how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong, but nice.
You gotta draw a line in the sand, man.
Yeah. Well, there are things in the universe that are right and wrong. One of the things that's right is there are people that love ice cream. And then if you're on the wrong side of history, you hate it. You just do. And I can't help you. And I'm not sure I want to help you. It's like the same thing. If you don't like Axe Cop, it's like what is wrong with you? What did Axe Cop ever do to you? So little joys. That's what life's about. It's all about the little joys. So, but that's, yeah. Well, my first try at Nira isn't terrible, but I think I'm going to do another.
See what you got.
Oh, not 1 sec. I got another.
Okay.
I'm going to ink it slightly, and then I'm going to show it to you because I'm going to try it again because I'm doing your Nira X Reborn #1 cover, so that's what I'm trying to do. And a couple things about Nira that I doing her, I realized she has surprisingly got a lot of little details to her. Like, and I don't say that in a bad way. Just like, wow, there's a lot to you.
You know, I try to keep her really simple, and I notice when I'm coloring her, because coloring is very slow for me.
Yeah.
So the less details, the better.
Yeah.
I notice that she's got a couple of details.
Yeah. Well, just like, again, her basic form isn't that complex, but it's, again, first try, getting her, but she's got a lot of little lines in all kinds of places with her suit and armor, and I'm like, okay, her form isn't that complex, but everything in the form, though, there is lots of little like places to work. She's got like this really cool, almost like manga-esque armor she's got on. So it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting and fun and challenging and like, that's cool. I will take the challenge head on. And like I said, when I do the next sketch of her, it's gonna be more details, but give her a little bit with her hair here and her ears. So Nira X, attempt number 1.
Number uno.
Attempt numero uno.
There you go. There you go.
Yes.
I like the pose. I really like the pose.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to get her form a little bit better before I go to like the next like step from try to color her. But yeah, like I said, it's like not bad. And she's kind of fun to draw. I see why you do it all the time.
I love to see your progression, especially since we did this last time to this time, because I could see the progression. I could see what you're thinking and how you're putting things together.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I like I said, I might be developing a style, but don't tell anybody. Like I said, if you had told me a couple years ago if I was drawing, I never would have believed it, like ever. So, but again, good is relative. And once you kind of realize that, it's like, hey, it's not so bad.
Oh, art is a very subjective thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Even writing is a very subjective thing too. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Writing, music, film. Those are subjective things.
Yes. Yes, they are. About there. I think this knows a lot better. Yeah, no, and I'll post the Nira X one on my Instagram a little bit later on tonight. However her final form turns out. So I'm going to ask you a very hard question there, Miss Cat.
Mm-hmm.
You ready? What's your favorite thing to draw?
Monsters.
Monsters. It's all
Mhm.
about the monsters.
Yes.
So what's your favorite monster?
Yes.
It's like, yes.
Right now, I would have to say like orcs and ogres are my favorite right now.
So why is orcs and ogres your faves? Just ugly? They like.
No, not really. I really liked the I really love Japanese folklore. So the way that they interpret like orcs and ogres was so different than it is here in Western culture that
Yep.
I have an affinity for them, and they're so cool because some of them look super duper beautiful and
Mhm.
very human like, and other ones look so monstrous that depending on my mood, I can choose whether or not I want to make a big monstrous one or a very pretty one.
Yeah. Okay. So I like Japanese mythology myself. I'm a big fan of the kami and the Shinto stuff. So
Hmm.
my favorite stuff's the so one of my favorite video games of all time is Persona. Have you ever heard of it?
Yes. I haven't had the joy of playing it, but I've had so many people explain the whole thing to me. And it's just,
Yeah.
I love the art style of it. And I loved seeing, I was able to watch a couple of my friends actually play it. And it was just like, this is some fun gameplay.
So Persona 4 is completely about Japanese myths. Completely. So if you like it's the origin story. Like the big theme of that game is deception. And
Hmm.
so you get this you gotta fight deception. My favorite game is 5. My favorite story is 3, but 4 is where the Persona series exploded. It's a good game too. I don't hate any of them, but I love 5 because 5 is just it's a thief game disguised as an RPG. So you're stealing shit all the time. It's great, right? So and you're sneaking around, and it requires a lot more um, thought than the average RPG. So, and I enjoy that. So yeah, but they're big into like Japanese mythology. All the mythologies are in there. I love their interpretation of Alice in Wonderland. I published an Alice in Wonderland Greek mythology mashup story. And I stole a little bit from Persona. I'm not gonna lie. So, um, I mean, I like it. That's here, secret, folks. I steal from the shit I like. I think we all do. I'm just honest enough about it up front. So it's like, hey, this is what I do. I'm a thief, in the best way. I like the stuff. So
I think that just stays true to what Persona 5 is, which is just a thief game.
yes, yes. And one of my favorite final boss battles ever is in that game. So that's the thing. Like I said, I'm 40 years old and I still love me some video games. So that one's my that one's my jam. I'm not gonna lie. It's like it's totally my jam. So but Japanese mythology is really, really interesting. I was first exposed to it. Oh, Mr. Box, you've missed me drawing a Russian model. You're watching these two kick butt. We talked about ice cream. It was very, very important. And skulls. That's what you missed. That's what you
And we should
missed.
never stop playing video games.
Then that too. That too. That too. So yeah.
Yeah, I just started Horizon.
Ooh.
And that's gonna take me a while.
I'm on a retro.
Cat's further
finished
along
it.
Yeah, Cat finished the story already.
Oh, so good.
You know what's really you know what really sucks
She
is when
kills.
you know what really sucks when you have to be good now because you gotta let your you gotta let him figure out the best parts of the game and not spoil it because it's like that it's the good shit. You know what I mean? It's like,
Hmm.
oh, this is so good.
Yeah, I
There was a
usually just
time
put
when
my
I used to
headphones
think
on because I'm such a bad backseat gamer.
I'm on a retro game kick right now. The game I'm playing right now is Chrono Trigger. So
Oh god,
Ooh,
you
good
son of a-
choice.
who doesn't like Chrono Trigger? It's like again, if you're one of those people, Mr. Box, listen. I call Bill Mr. Bill. I don't know Cat quite well enough yet. We've talked for about an hour. and I get the feeling I'd enjoy hanging out with Miss Cat. But okay, there you go. I did it there. But it's one of those things where we just like I am very, very silly mystery box. I am very silly. Ask anybody that knows me. I don't take myself that seriously, and I have fun. And apparently, everybody else that comes on the show feels the same way because they all have come back in some form or fashion. Actually, I should ask. So, Kat, if you ever want to come back yourself, just one-on-one, you're more than welcome to. If you want to bring Bill again, Bill's always welcome to
Oh,
come
that
back.
would be
of course.
awesome. There would be no echo.
Yes, always,
You know, at
always.
some point we'll figure this out, or we'll just be
Yes.
in different rooms next time. That's all.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. And
We'll figure
and
it
right
out.
now, Mystery Box, I am actually giving a go at Nira because I figured why not. I'm actually I've thoroughly enjoyed the Kickstarter for the number 2 and number 1, and I enjoyed the story I got, and I can't like number 3 is going to be my last Kickstarter for a little bit because I'm not quite sure what's happening to me in the not too distant future. Bill knows what's up, so does Kat, and I can that's all I can say on the air. But I like me some good books, and this one seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's why I am doing this. So
Yes.
yeah. Also, I want to read the conclusion to it because it seems like, speaking of heist kind of comics, Nira 1 and X1 and 2 kind of feel it's like big bad evil, but also like evil Nira is kind of like a thief. And it's like, okay, I'm going to see how this calamity resolves itself, if it does, in the next 3 issues or not. So, without spoiling too much for anybody that hasn't read Nira X, the latest Nira X Reborn. So,
Yeah, this third issue is going to leave things in a place where people are going to see how the series is going to be set up for the rest of the year.
yeah. So you doing another series then?
Yeah, there's another series coming after this one,
Sweet.
and can't say too much about it yet, but it's
Oh,
going to
no.
be a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Well, I kind of see. Here's the cool thing about Kickstarter, right? It's kind of giving you a new lease on your creations because you don't need a big comic books like, oh, this is the sales we need. It's like, yes, if I get enough support from my audience, I don't need like. I know Committed Comics is publishing this, but your following has definitely helped with the drive for it, and you've done very well on Kickstarter. So, congrats.
Yeah,
for
things are
all of
going
it.
pretty good.
Yeah. So
I'm happy about that for sure.
I'm going to do a little quicking job here, and I'm going to get started on actually coloring this one. But I'll actually show it to you because I like this one a lot better, actually. So I had to try to get the hang of Miss Nira. Hold on a second here. Make sure I haven't missed any comments. No, I have not. So yeah, it's just one of those, like, yeah. But yeah, I can see why you draw Miss Nira there. Bill, she's a lot of fun. So alrighty. So if it's too early to answer, I understand, Kat. But I was just curious, what's the series you want to do first? Do you have an idea for it, or you're like, nope, I'm not telling you yet. Figuring it out.
I'm not sure why Kat dropped out of the thing. I'll get her to click the link so she could.
There you go.
There she is.
Yeah,
Okay.
there I am.
Yeah. So, Kat, sorry
I can
about that.
hear-
Now Bill's disappeared.
Why?
The technology tonight has been evil.
Oh
I'm
my
not
gosh.
sure. I'm
It's
not sure
probably
why.
because we're in the same room.
Yeah.
Our internet's just like, nah. The satellite for the both of you? Nah.
Screw you guys. We are going to punish you. How dare you think about doing this?
Well, you can just talk.
Yes.
I can just
I just
talk
have
now,
I
right?
just
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know how I dropped out. I was checking in on Kat, and
Yep. And then you
then
disappeared.
she
You want to
popped
come back
in,
in? You're
and
more
I
than welcome to
popped
come
out.
back in.
Yeah. And you can't hear anything now, right?
No, of course
Oh
not.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
no.
Here, share an earbud, good sir.
I see.
This is
And
our
there's
real
no
solution.
yeah.
Just us hanging out. Okay, here's me. And then Kat, here, hold on.
Hey, here's me.
Yeah.
Hey, all
Oh,
right.
Actually, let me. Hey, Dabby. Okay, let me switch my camera around.
You know, it's funny because I can hear us talking in the headset part,
yeah.
but at least it's not so
Yeah.
delayed. It's like an echo.
Yeah. No,
It's
I
more
get you.
like I'm in a stadium.
Yes. There we go.
So weird. Oh, there we go. All right.
So,
Oh.
Closer.
I can hear
So
you
before-
talking, and I'll pop in like this.
so how'd I do?
We're sharing a headphone bud,
Yeah, see
Yes.
that.
like we're on an airplane, sharing a Walkman.
Technical
That's right.
masters.
That's right. That's right. I'm gonna see. It's too much goodness in one room to stream. This might be true.
See, you sound like you're in an auditorium too. You sound like you got like extra echoes.
Well, I
Sweet.
can go like that. So I like this one a lot better. I think I did this one better. So
Nice.
yeah.
Yes. I do love the pose. It's sassy.
And your poses
Yes.
are more dynamic. They've gotten
Yeah.
more dynamic since. I mean, it was quite a while back that we were doing
Yeah,
this
it's
last
been about a
time.
year.
Here,
It's been
scoot
about yes.
other way.
No, it's
I
just
gotta
like
scroll this up a little.
oh, I wouldn't even tried this a year ago because I
Doesn't-
was not ready to draw Nira a year ago, and I'm just being honest about that. But yeah, I'm not saying this is like the greatest Nira ever, but there's definitely a personality to her.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna color her, and then it's got to be blonde because I don't have white. I don't have a white crayon to color her hair proper. So it's gonna have to be a blonde Nira. So I hope you guys understand that.
You could actually use a blue just for the shadow, and the white of the paper can just be the white.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
That's
actually
cool.
advice that she gave me recently, coloring it, and it ended up looking cooler.
Like a
I think I
light
just turned the
blue?
thing like
Are we talking
this.
like a light blue or a dark, like a light blue or a sky blue?
Ooh.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, now I see.
Hey.
Now I see all of you. There you are. Okay.
Like a light
Yeah.
blue.
Light blue? Okay.
Mhm.
I'll try it. Yeah, because it like that's an interesting solution. I one thing I picked up pretty early, like the secret to hair is just to kind of let hair go. Like don't fill it up perfectly. Kind of let some of the just let the lines go and people will get the idea of hair. It's about conveying the idea more than it is to actually do it perfectly. So
You can let the paper gods take control from there. Yeah, sometimes you let the paper speak for itself.
yeah, it's pretty much
Just
just
let
light
it-
blue. So we'll try that. We'll see. Like
Yes.
very
Cool.
lightly.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'll go very light.
It's always better to build up a color because once you put it down, you can't take it off.
Yes. No, I get it. I'm just going very, very light, and then once I go like that, with the light, give that a try.
Yep, just coloring in the just the shadow part, and then it'll make everything else look nice and bright in comparison.
Like that. So you guys can see it.
As we get close to the camera.
Is that about right?
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Okay.
Cool.
So now I'm gonna actually color the rest of her up for a bit there. Yeah, and then
Cool.
what I'll do is once that's all done, because it's also it's the color of her eyes as well, which I think is really fun. And all right, we will do Nira the best justice I possibly can. And for mystery box, like what I do on I do drink and draw nights, and the reason why is because this is a visual show, and I figure some artists aren't very talkative. Now, Bill is a very, very genial person, but again, and Kat is cool being quiet. She can talk, but she enjoys being quiet. But this way, people can see us.
Yeah, if I was on Jerk and Draw, I would just be stupid.
But yeah, it's one of those things I've realized. It's just like artists in general are. I'm not going to say again. They can't talk. It's not always their first language.
Hold on to this real quick.
Okay.
There was actually a comic I drew while I was drunk. Hold on.
Oh, okay, she's grabbing something.
Oh, cool.
She's finding something.
and she's having fun too.
Yeah, she's really taking this Cintiq for a good test run.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I'm gonna let you in on a secret mystery box. I couldn't either a year ago. I just decided that I would try, and it's been a process for me. Right? I'm not saying I'm good.
I put it in the archive recently. That's
Yeah.
downstairs.
That's
I'll
So
have
I'm
to
doing-
find it and I'll post it.
That'd be great. That'd be cool. I actually am doing a 24-hour comic with a friend of mine. I'm drawing squid monsters. I don't know how I'm going to draw squid monsters, but damn it, I'm doing it. So,
Oh man. There we go.
yeah, very cool.
Cool.
Yeah. So, I'm putting Nira together properly now and trying to color her in as best I can anyway. So that'll take some time, but yeah. So basically, I'm going to ask another semi-serious question to Miss Cat. I hope she's okay with it. That's this. Yes, semi-serious. So is comics your end goal, or do you want to just draw anything and everything?
The actual end goal for me is I would like to have a company where I actually can, basically a publishing company where it's like I'm in charge of other artists and also myself. That way it's just like, I just want to have a company where I have so many different people that have so many different skills.
Yes.
Just pump out more and more story game for me to
So you're
make
taking over the
something
world.
that can like on its own momentum just keep going, even if I'm not doing anything or I need to take a break or at some point when I'm gone. Like,
She's gonna be my boss.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it. She sounds like she's halfway there already, actually.
Yeah, most artists only have a right brain, which is your creative side and all that. She's got a sizable left brain also, so she's.
Thank you, Mom.
Yeah, she's.
Yeah, no, it's just
She's dangerous, but in a good way.
well, that's it.
In a
But
helpful way.
it's necessary because in this day and age, the world's changed. It's not, and I don't say that in like a terrible, like, oh my God, it's a terrible. No, it's just
Yeah.
you have to be, and I've learned this just being a freelancer. You have to have a business mindset, right?
Oh, there's a lot more to the job than I thought there would be.
Yeah,
20 years ago.
Yeah, you have to protect yourself, and like Kat here is planning on taking. She's like, I'm not going to protect myself. I'm just taking the fuck over. That's what she's doing. Screw this protecting myself crap. I'm not.
Yeah, I learned the hard way. I mean, when I first got into comics in the 90s, I thought I would find one publisher that I could work for, and I would stay with them forever, and I would grow in that one spot or whatever. And it turns out you can't just work for one publisher.
Gotta diversify.
Yeah, you gotta wear a few different hats, and
Well, you
got to make friends and network and work for everybody.
Well, yeah, that's it, right? You gotta be real, and you gotta worry about it, and kind of just go from there. I've learned as a writer. Well, I've. If you had told me a few years back, I'd be drawing. I'd be like, ha, nope. Here I am. What am I doing? I'm drawing. Why am I drawing? Because that became a necessity. And you got to realize that as a creative person, that you're going to have to let certain things just happen. And it's a business. And like all businesses, sometimes you're going to have to be, ooh, I almost forgot about that part. Got to do that. Her little bit of what I call war paint she wears, that tattoo under her eye. Got to make sure I color that in first before I wrap this bad boy up. But what I've learned in this life is it's just you got to keep growing as a creative, and the creative stuff in some ways is the easiest part of the job. Some ways. So otherwise it's still the hardest, and it's where you challenge yourself to be more, but you got to be willing to do that. And not everybody does that. So that's what I've learned.
Well, the creative part is definitely easier than all this left brain part.
Yeah.
I'm not built for all this organizing and business and promo and
I actually think I think you're better at the promo than you realize, because you talk
I'm
well.
trying. Yeah, I'm giving it some effort. So
yeah,
it's easy to be
but
hard
like
on
you say,
yourself.
Oh yeah, totally. Totally.
I don't have staff.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah. So got one more. Wait. No, why did I throw that out? Oh, I gotta get the red. So I got one last thing, and like I said, no, you're right. The blue actually. So Kat, you're a genius. I'm going to just say that now. Blue works quite well.
I just happen to know 2 more things in color theory. That's it.
No. Hey, listen, I never would have thought of it. Never would have actually considered that idea. But you did. So you taught me something tonight. So thank you for that.
New wrinkle in the brain.
Yes. All right. I got to do a little bit more fine detail color, but I think for a basic job, that's not too bad. So you want to see my Nira?
Yeah.
All colored up. All colored. Well,
there we go. Cool. Now she's brought to life.
Yes.
There you go. Cool.
That is my Nira X, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be posting that on my Instagram later tonight.
Awesome.
Just because. Yeah. Yeah.
You honor us, good sir.
Yeah. Well, I look at it like this. She is surprisingly fun to draw. Like, and again, not complex, but she does have a lot of like little detail pieces to her. If I were to have a little bit more time and effort and practice, I probably would get like some neat little armor pieces, parts that look like armor, the parts that look like separate those a little bit more.
Yeah.
But again, a year ago, I could not have done that. Right.
Progression, man. Growth.
Yeah.
You got to put in the hours.
Well, I do a lot of different things. Like we're talking about wearing many hats. I podcast, I make videos, I write. So I'm just
right. No, you're multitasking like crazy. So you got a lot of things going on.
Yeah. Well, it's just one of those. Again, it's just one of those weird things. Like we do skill stuff all the time. We start off with one skill, and then what seems to happen in this life, if you let yourself do those things, you acquire more skills. And you let yourself do those things, you acquire more skills. I just wanted to I wanted to be one of those tour superstars back in the day with Robert Jordan, Brandon Sanderson. That's all I wanted to be. And yet here I am writing, drawing. I just drew Nira X on a podcast. Never would have imagined that in a million years. But
fantastic.
Here we are. And here what we did. So it's like, that's cool. And I say that in like the best way. It's like, I never would have imagined this, but looking back, going forward, I don't know if I would have done anything differently. And if that's the case, then I haven't.
The journey. Yeah. That's all part of it,
Yeah. Actually, that's a fun question to ask both of you. Doing this now this way, what have you learned? Like, what new skills have you discovered that you never realized you had?
The social skills.
Yes.
Well, I tell you what, since the pandemic started, since we've all started actually doing podcasts and doing live streams all the time, I actually spend more quality time with people. Like I spent more quality time with you right now than I would have if I had met you at a convention
Oh
in
yeah.
person. Which I love doing conventions. That's part of our that's part of our cycle. That's part of our thing. And I definitely am looking forward to shows coming back. I mean that's all part of it. But now that
Oh
we have this
yeah.
added onto it, this extra layer, I'm spending a lot more quality time with lots of people, lots of other creators that I would have a table in the same show with them, or even sitting right next to them, and we wouldn't spend as much quality time actually getting to know each other and talking about comics and hanging out
Yeah.
unless we were live streaming, unless we had, you know, we hang out for an hour or 2 hours or whatever the live stream happens to be, and that's already at least an hour more than I would have spent with you at an actual show. Because if you're working another table, you're actually talking to your customers and talking to your fans,
Mhm.
and I'm over here working and talking to my fans and talking to my customers. And then after the show, everybody's tired. Let's go to the hotel and then fly
Yeah.
home. So
Yeah. Although I would say this, I
Mm.
still could get you for an hour at a convention because this is what I would do. I'd be like, "Hey, I'm doing a podcast. You want to come make an ass of yourself for an hour?"
Doing the same thing, but in
Yeah,
person.
no. I like this show before when shows were. Canada is in a unique situation. I decided to wait on the vaccination thing, so technically I still can't leave the country, even though all the mandates are slowly coming down here.
Uh-huh.
Right. So so it's still in a weird flux. So you guys are going to be back up and running probably by the summer, because I don't think there's going to be another lockdown. I think everybody's done with that, and I don't think we're going to go back to that again.
Yeah, it's a
Right.
possibility. And unless something really pops up that's dangerous and everybody's
Mhm.
really something new, something unforeseen,
At this point,
Yeah.
people would have to be physically
Dying.
exploding.
Yeah. No, that's
The zombie
where
apocalypse
People
would
are
have to-
so done.
Yeah.
no, it's it. Like no one's doing this anymore. I mean, this is just
Mm-hmm.
realistic. So what I'm anticipating for the next half a year is there's going to be an easing. Canada's a little bit behind you guys, because we were one of the last countries to start doing the vaccination program.
Sure.
And just for those wondering, I'm not saying don't take the vaccine. My dad's a naturopath. I've just seen cancer drugs, opiates, and antidepressants do damage up close and personal. So I always take a wait and see approach before I do anything. It's just me.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just clarifying that for the audience. Like, if you are vaccinated, cool.
Yeah,
I don't care.
If people want to get vaccinated, that's the way I feel about it. And if you want to get vaccinated, then go ahead and do it. As far as I know, I mean, we trust them with all the other science.
You just have to be very aware of the repercussions
I've gotten vaccinated for everything else that they told me to get vaccinated for as a kid, and and I trust them with lots of other things that I don't understand. This is very politicized, so I understand it's a trigger thing for some people, but I'm happy with however people feel personally. They should
just being aware of restrictions, where it's just like, oh, if you didn't, you gotta wait on stuff.
Well, it's also just more along the fact, again, just I've seen medical injury up close and personal, and like the one thing I will just say is this wasn't tested like a lot of other vaccines. That's the only that's as far as I'm going to go. So my natural tendency when I see anything new come into the market is I wait, because I also know that there's a risk. And I
understand caution. I understand caution, and I definitely don't judge, because it's something that we don't understand either.
Yeah. So my thing is, my whole thing was I was always going to wait until 2023 to touch it, if I was going to touch it, because by then I'd see the results. Because by that point, everybody
see something.
I'd see something. I could make a decision. I could make a real risk. That has always been my thing. But in Canada, like from what I can tell in the States, like almost all your restrictions are gone. There might be a couple things left, but even like the mandates for hospitals and stuff, they're being backtracked. A lot of other things are being backtracked bit by bit
in
by
America, just hospitals and government buildings still have tighter restrictions, but everywhere else it's like
it's pretty slack.
It's been pretty slack. Like they have everything up, but if you're fully vaccinated, you can make a choice.
Yeah. So
we're already
like,
doing shows again. We've got
Yeah,
4
yeah,
different
no,
shows
like,
on our schedule.
yeah. Whereas here we're probably next year we'll probably be back in the full show swing of things.
Yeah,
If it,
seems like
right,
it.
that it's going to be next year for us, and that's
Yeah.
just the way it is. Now, if I can find a way down to the States between now and then, I might sneak in and do a couple shows. But if I was right,
Sure,
because
sure.
I'm an American citizen, so I have dual, so I have a little bit more leeway than say the
Flexibility.
average. Yeah, I have a little bit more leeway, but that'll say it's more along the lines of the fact that like, yeah, I just taking a caution. Again, this next half a year is going to be, even though we're kind of going to go back to normal, it's going to be a gradual process, and I've accepted
is.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've accepted that. 2023 will be normal ish. Yeah, right. That's how I see
Like
it. Right.
crawling back
Yeah,
to
yeah.
normalcy.
Well, I like I said, we got other issues we're going to have to deal with going forward. But again, I'm not here to do politics tonight. I'm
Yeah,
keeping
of course,
yeah. But basically, what I used to do is I would go to people. I'd be like, "Hey, you want to come on my podcast?" And it'd be like, and then some people were like, I don't know. And then they look me up. Oh shit, you've done a whole lot of these episodes, so you must know what you're doing, suckers. But yeah, I used to like with the original show, like when it was just an audio, I would meet people in bars and wherever I could actually interview someone and be comfortable with. And so I would Bill, we would get an hour's conversation. We'd only get an hour's conversation, but we get an hour's conversation somehow, some way. I'd bribe Kat. I'd be like, "Here's a skull. Let me have him for an hour." And
There you go.
like, "Yes."
Oh,
Then I got.
man.
Well, I actually don't know how to bribe you, Bill. I don't know how to bribe you. Maybe just something as simple as ice cream. Hey, let's
I
try.
don't
Like,
know.
yeah,
Maybe passes to a strip club or something. I'm not really
I think
sure.
we just feed him. It'll be good.
yeah. Okay, cool. I know
I'm just
that,
happy
like,
to hang out.
Yeah. No, I actually, and I'll say this straight up. It's actually, I am always flattered that people want to come on the show and have a good time. And even people like you who've been in the industry for a very long time, and Kat, who's probably taking over the industry in like 5 years.
Closer to 10.
Well, she's actually celebrating 10 years working now in the industry.
Yep.
So she's
you know what? Props to
The
you.
sweatshop started at 14.
Yeah, the sweatshop started at 14. I started getting her, kind of ghosting her into some projects.
I was
then,
filling markers, erasing, pencils.
And then it got to the point where she was coloring full books and they didn't really know. And then they're just like, "Oh, okay, so where's the rest of the book?" Okay, so she turned it in. All right, we're good. And then they're just like, "All right, great." It's like, who colored this one? Because we want them back for our next issue.
Nice.
And it's just like, yep, that would be Kat.
Nice way you snuck her in the back door. I just actually literally got in the door myself. I'm editing my first comic right now for a client. Cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, it's actually kind of fun because I'm coming in with like my own literary like stuff because I've done books my own. So it's like coming in. It's like it's cool because comic story structure is simpler in some ways. Simpler in some ways, but you still have the same fundamental rules. And I've enjoyed it. Like my current client is I don't know if you know Rodney Fike or not, but it's doing I'm doing a horror book. So you want monsters and gore? That's what I'm doing right now, Kat. I'm doing monsters and gore. Right. So and it's fun because it's like, okay, we gotta make sure the emotional beats are just right. Because every book has to have the right tone.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Right.
For sure.
And that's basically how I'm treating my job this time. It's like, okay, we need to get the audience here before we crush them. That's how like we gotta build it up before you destroy them. Like you have to have that, right? So
right.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to do here because it's like my job isn't to take over a story, it's to help the best story being told possible.
Sure.
Right. And like again, your book, it's fun silliness and with like just a little bit of gravity because Nira isn't a caricature. She is still a person, but it's like again, it's like I would compare it to something like the tone, not the is Ghostbusters. Something like a Ghostbuster, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's what you want. You want something that feels very fun, but there's actually a little meat to the character. It doesn't have-
Ghostbuster-ish, Back to the Future-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
a tiny
that's
bit of enough gravitas to make it feel like they have to move forward, like there's some stakes, but it doesn't take itself that seriously.
yeah, and that's a different tone, and that's
Mm.
also like super hard. Like I said, comedy is super hard if you don't have the chops for it. And
Mhm.
I'd say the second hardest thing to do in any form of literature.
Mhm.
The hardest thing, in my opinion, is joy. So because it's so line between I'm really happy and this is so cheesy that I want to vomit. It's such a narrow line.
The cringe
Right.
border, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Cringe
it is.
border.
It's super hard, right? Because genuine happiness, if you do it right, it translates in a way that actually moves people to tears in in a very really great way.
Yeah.
But if you go a little too much on the sappy, it's like
It's too sappy.
It's a fine line. Yep.
yeah, it's hard. Being angry and telling stories of death and destruction are much easier. We get those stakes real quick.
Exactly. You can actually do broad strokes with that. Whereas, yeah, I could totally see where doing happy is a fine line.
But
Much more
happy's a
delicate.
fine line. But so is comedy because and I'm a big Peter David Spider-Man fan. Like I actually enjoy his Spider-Man run. And the reason why I enjoy that run in particular is because Spider-Man didn't always tell good jokes. Sometimes his jokes are absolutely the drizzling shits. Right?
That's what I love about him.
No, but see, it's the best part, right? Some of his jokes are genuinely funny, but some of his jokes suck. Right? But to truly get but the thing is, that's like good comedy. Like good comedy is much like a roller coaster. You take them on a high, then you have some shit, then you take them another high, and then when eventually it gets to a point where with comedy that it doesn't matter anymore. Joke, it's such an entertaining ride that you got them, right? But you don't just do like these perfect one-line zingers. I hate that with some Spider-Man writers because they do that too much. He's at his best when it's just like some of his jokes are only funny to him, but that's part of his charm. Right?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Making himself laugh in the comics is so funny.
But again, it adds to his charm, right? It's human.
You could be inside of his head instead of being entertained by a stand-up comic. At the top of his game, that sort of thing. It's just.
But even
Peter Parker is such a fucking nerd. It's like
that's why you like him. That's why you like him. It's like
that's what it is.
Nerd. It's like
if only he had a better job, but
you gotta find a job.
I can't handle another like entrepreneur type dude.
No.
I don't know.
If he gets a stable job at Octavius's place, yes, of course.
That's a pension job.
That's a pension
government job.
I don't know. There's I think there's like that security. There is such a thing as soul crushing. Yeah, you have the money, but there are jobs, and like I said, and off the air, there are some jobs that honestly aren't just worth keeping. They're just not. Nope. And you just gotta be honest. But it's like, you know what? I don't really care. Like, there really is no such thing as security. That's the one thing I think about this time. Doesn't exist.
That's the truth.
The past few years have proven that.
Yeah, so there's no such thing. So if that's the case, I'm not taking, and this might sound a little hedonistic, but honestly, you only live once. What do you love to do? Do it.
Of course.
Don't fucking worry about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly, anything can be monetized. So.
Yes. Yep.
And you have to do it 10 hours a day. So.
Yeah.
Do what you like.
I gotta go draw some more money tonight.
Yeah. So do I.
Well, you know what, Bill? I'm sure you found a way. I'm sure you would. Listen,
against
I have made
the odds, we found a way.
Luckily, people like space chicks. And boobs
yeah.
And space
well,
chicks.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Space chicks with boobs with a sense of humor. It works. It's Why not? Hell, I just tried to draw her. I think I did okay, all things considered. So yeah,
You're good. You're good. You're Nira approved.
You're
yeah.
caught in the booby trap now.
I am
Ah.
caught in the booby trap.
Mhm.
That's going to be my Instagram post, by the way. I'm just going to let you know that I got caught in the booby trap. So
Give me credit, 10 cents per click.
well, here's the deal. Well, actually, when this is over, I definitely want your Instagram stuff too, Kat, so I can actually see it. 'Cause I think me and Bill do follow each other on Instagram. I do know that. So, but that all said, it's interesting. Like I never thought my voice would make money. It has. I never thought my words would make money. They have. Hell, I've even sold some of my art. I mean, not for a lot of money because again, I'm not there yet, but I've done it. So
and you'll continue. That's it.
yeah, that's it. No, it's like here's the thing. Like if I can do it, anybody can do it. And again, I'm not trying to sound. I'm sounding a little bit self-deprecating, but it's just about work and effort, whatever you choose to do, and recognize and figuring out who you are and how to market that so people are aware of what you do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Being self-aware.
Yep.
Yeah. So first off, Miss Cat, it was a pleasure meeting you. Like I said,
likewise.
So, yes.
This one.
Did what Bill tell you about me was absolutely true?
My goodness. I don't think you actually gave me any synopsis. It was just like, oh, we're just on a stream. I'm like, cool, I'm meeting someone new. And that was it. And I was like, cool.
He wouldn't have brought you on the show if I was an asshole.
Exactly.
Right. So yeah, he wouldn't have brought you on the show.
No, man,
I would have ended things pretty quick.
You're good people. You know how I feel about you already, so we're cool.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. No, I no. Like Matt,
I wouldn't have brought my kid.
That's right.
My 24-year-old kid.
Well, she ain't exactly a kid no more. I think actually at this point before we wrap up, I bet you at this point. I'm going to ask Kat a very interesting question because I do this with my dad sometimes. So I'm going to see if you do the same thing. Sometimes you realize in the parent like kid relationship, there's a point like you always look up. That never changes no matter how old you get. You're always going to remember him being there. But there are times now where you're the adult and you're the one protecting him.
Yeah. Especially when he goes into the toy section of any grocery store. I'm the adult.
I'm just saying.
It's okay, dude. For me, it's if there's a comic book section, I'm gone. I'm just done. It's like, ooh, comics, right? But that's it's a natural thing. Like I get the feeling from just again a little bit of a conversation, not much. You have a good head on your shoulders. I think. Again, it wouldn't shock me in 5 years if you were exactly where you wanted to be. You got a good head on your shoulders, and you really, really, really. No, you do. You have a very good head. You have, I think, the confidence to succeed. And if you don't know, your dad has been in the industry a very long time, and he can definitely help you at least, and definitely with some of the things that still work that no one's thinking about anymore.
Oh yeah,
right? Because
there were so many things that strangely ended up happening. He's been bringing me to conventions since I was literally a fetus, so everybody there knows me. So it was really weird. I just walk up to professionals being like, hey, I'm going to start drawing now. Can you give me any tips? And they like actually hold my hand through the process because they've known me for so long. And that's so weird thinking about it like outside of the box.
Yeah. And it's gotten to the point where I'm meeting people because she met them first.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, the tables have turned. I'm already.
We help each other.
But that's okay. I think, and again, I'm not speaking. I can just tell you're very proud of who she's become, and I can tell that already.
Yeah, she's awesome. I kept her alive just long enough, and so doing the single dad thing.
I take care of myself now.
I know. Yeah, she's self-sufficient now, so it's like a chia pet. I kept her alive just long enough, and now she's making me look good.
So you two up there doing this again sometime down the road?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we'll do it again. Definitely.
Yeah. All right. So before I wrap up, also same thing. Yeah. Before I wrap up, I will do Kat first. I know your Kickstarter is the most prominent thing here, so we'll save that for last.
Sure.
Kat, do you have like any like web pages, any projects, anything you'd like to promote besides the Kickstarter?
Probably just my website online store, just because it's like I fill that stuff up every now and then. But I'm actually working on the Kickstarter with you. I'm coloring that entire issue, so that's the biggest thing we have going on.
All
So I
right.
need, everybody to jump on the Kickstarter because I have to pay her.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
And I
We'll do
ain't
this.
cheap.
We'll do this. We'll do this in this order. Kat, what's your website?
It is catmouseart.com. So KATMAUSART.com.
Make sure I got this because I'm a
Mm.
trained, but
Yeah.
not woohoo. See,
Yeah.
trained professional. Is that right?
Let me look closer. Yes, good job.
Okay, cool. All right. So let me get this because I
Yeah.
actually already backed your Kickstarter, like I said.
Because you're awesome.
Well, I
Thanks,
want to
bro.
read the end of the story. It was fun. It really, really is a lot of fun. So let me just get to that. Yeah, like I said, I don't know when I'm gonna get to my next one because again, I made the decision to change careers, and I'm going through the ups and downs of that right now. So, but give me that. No, boom, boom. Again, train motherfucking professional right here, guys. I know what I'm doing. I think this is it. Is that it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That looks like it.
Okay, so gentlemen, Nira X Reborn #3 is available now. They'll plug his page at the very end here as well, like his own
Sure,
pages and stuff. But this is his project. It's got 6 days to go. I
Mhm.
will probably do something really nice for Mr. Bill and make this an earlier episode. I'm sure you'd be okay with me putting this on my audios a touch earlier than
Sure. Yeah. Do your thing, my friend.
yeah. You're like, yes, I'll do that. I'm good with that. So but for everybody watching, everybody listening, okay, beyond the Kickstarter, is there anywhere else you'd like people to find you at?
They can find me at billmouse.com.
Okay, so
BILLMAUS.com. That's sort of it's less of a complete web page and more of a hub
there's
of
nothing
where
wrong
to
with
find
that.
me. So first images on there are links to the Kickstarter, and you could find links to all my socials, Instagram and all that good stuff, and my Facebook page. My Facebook page is probably where I'm most active on a daily basis. So like something pops up, something new, commissions, all this sort of stuff. You can reach me pretty easy through Facebook page.
Yeah, so you guys can do that. So we will do that. So lastly, guys, before we wrap this bad boy up, this is my latest release. It's called Alice 1. It's Alice in Wonderland as Greek mythology. Alice is Pandora. Alice is chasing the Queen of Hearts over the edge of the world, and she ends up in the Greek underworld, where to escape, she must play Jason of the Argonauts a game of croquet. In this underground labyrinth, Alice and company face gods, monsters, and perhaps the most terrifying thing of all, themselves. Definitely take a look. It's available now exclusively on Amazon. And that will do it for this week's episode of Just Joshing. All the episodes there. I want to thank Bill and Kat. Nice to meet you, Kat. And Bill,
Thank you
always
so
a
much,
pleasure.
dude. It was good to hang out with you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So, guys, this is this episode. Stay inspired. Keep shining in the dark. And I will be back Monday with somebody else. I would look at the schedule now, but I'm tired and stuff. Anyways, guys, take care of yourselves and have